everyone. Tonight we're interviewing computer art man Jeff Mueller. Jeff, how are you tonight?
I am excellent.
Great. Got a few questions for you. Tell us all a little bit about your background, how you started out in the art world, and what got you to this point.
My father got me into artwork. He had a commercial art business, and at 16 he gave me my first airbrush, and from that point on I evolved I went to school, and then I became a full-time commercial artist, and then eventually evolved a little bit out of that and more into the fine art that I'm in today.
Interesting. So you mentioned the airbrush and some other medium. Tell us a little bit about your specific creative process.
My creative process is to go out, capture photographs with the low-res camera that we're shooting this interview with, and bring those photographs, find the painting, bring those photographs into the computer, paint them in the computer, print it out onto canvas, and then paint over the canvas.
Well, that's fascinating, but to the casual observer, how would you net out the differences between your process and just taking a photo and putting it through some filter or some other automated process in some painting program?
Well, the difference is, while I'm going digitally painting these using the photo as a reference, I'm making a lot of decisions based off of the painting and the composition. I will paint out different things. I will use brush strokes to add movement. When you're painting water, you would paint it with a certain technique that you're painting the water with. When you're painting a person you would use a little bit different brush and technique, just like you do in physical painting, where you're not always just using one brush and one way of painting. You use different things to represent each thing. When you run it through a photographic filter, it's an overall filter, and it can't decipher between subject matter or color, for that matter, and treats everything the same. You make all the decisions that you make digitally that you would when you're painting with acrylics or oil paints physically. So that's the big difference between just running it through a painting program.
That's fascinating, Jeff. So tell us, what are your goals for the upcoming future?
My goal is to get this way that I'm working, it's so exciting, but to share it with the rest of the world and make the digital painting and digital artwork that's in its infancy stage really kind of start to grow up and become a real accepted fine art medium.
Well, you certainly are passionate about it. Thank you for an informative interview, Jeff, and have a good evening.
See you, everybody.